Hey everybody, welcome back to Stock Picks by Tim. Today I'm going to get into a crypto pick and I'm also going to go into Voyager the stock, but mostly I'm going to focus on the VGX token side of things. So since the last time we talked, I was talking about Voyager a couple weeks ago, and ever since then it's just been kind of on a downtrend. But just recently, I guess Friday, it just flipped and I became profitable on it. So I'm going to get into what I'm basically doing with it, if I'm still buying, if I'm still holding, or if I'm considering selling. We're going to get over the chart, but let's get into the video, guys. Now, starting off, to catch anybody up that's not aware of what VGX token is, what is it? Well, it's none other than Voyager's native crypto, and by having VGX, you also get perks for other cryptos that you hold on their exchange. And I do recommend being diversified in different exchanges. I personally have Voyager, got a link below for a $30 reward. I've also got BlockFi and Coinbase, and I like to be fully evenly dispersed in each one. I like to have about 30 to 35% of my crypto in each of those three just to kind of stay diversified, and I just found that for me it works better that way instead of having just everything into one exchange. Now, first we're going to touch on management because management is key. So first off, the CFO, Evan, I'm not going to try to say his last name, but he's brought more than 20 years of experience over finance strategy, investment banking, and accounting. So that's very good to have a CFO that is fantastic in finance. We've got the CEO, Stefan Ehrlich, and he actually has previous experience in E-Trade, and we've got a couple others actually that have experience here in E-Trade. So that's a good thing to see. They actually have experience in stocks. So people on the YouTube space are speculating that there's a possibility that Voyager could become like stock oriented one day. And I'm not sure about that. I just think it's good to see, the whole buying and selling. Anyone that's in E-Trade, they obviously know how to handle and know the mechanics behind, one side being the buyer, one side being the seller. Those kinds of things I can definitely see helping. And also the fact that Voyager is one of only a few. I don't know if there's actually any others, but this one you can actually place limit buy and limit sell orders, which definitely comes in handy when you're trying to get a really good deal. And while you're sleeping at night, there's just a wick on the candle that just dips right down and comes back up. Those kinds of times are great times to be able to just have a limit buy order. And we're going to get into the charts in a second. I'm kind of getting distracted here, but let's continue on to the management. We've also got Pam Kramer, the Chief Marketing Officer, and she also has experience in E-Trade, 9 years specifically. The Chief Administrative Officer also has experience at E-Trade. So it's good to see, and I like when executives all have good connections together at previous businesses that are successful. That's a good thing to see. And as a side note, that's one reason I really love India, and that's one of my highest conviction plays, because when you look at the CEOs over there, they all have experience in the chip sector, and they actually a lot of them have experience working together for multiple years, not just a short time. I'm talking like years and years of experience working together. So they know, when you've worked with someone for so long, you don't even need to tell them what you need. They don't even need to tell you. You already know what the other one's doing, and they know what you're doing, which just makes business flow so much better. And I'm very bullish, and that's why I also do like Voyager the stock, although I don't currently own any. This gives you an idea of the Voyager token and how, if you have an experienced team, like, yes, they're not in the crypto space, but they are still experienced financially, and that I think is very important when you're dealing with things like crypto. And I'll leave a link for you guys so you can actually look through the whole executive team. There's definitely a few more that have a lot of interesting experience, but we're going to get over to the charts now. Now, I feel like an easy way to play with this is, you see these lines that I put here? This line would be the accumulation line, anything under this, and then anything preferably over this, but even close to it, would be like the sell line if you wanted to swing trade this. I'm personally just holding it, although I did get over that 500. I'm going to stick to that 500. Now, before we get back to the charts, I'm jumping around, I know, but I wanted to show you guys that I'm going to stick to at least the 500. I don't think I'm going to work that far. I'm just not in the financial position to throw that much into just Voyager personally, but at some point maybe. But for now, I'm focusing on holding 500, so anything over 500, I won't be scared to take some profits on and just lock in some profits, wait for it to dip and buy back in. This definitely seems like a volatile enough crypto that you can get in and get out quite often, although I haven't, but I've looked at many times that I could have. But I do like keeping that first level, having the 7% VGX staking rewards. By just holding this VGX, I'm getting more. And also the earnings reward boost of 0.5. So you're talking about all the other cryptos. So you're talking about all these other cryptos getting a bonus 0.5. And the farther up you go, the more VGX tokens you have, the higher percentage you get. But to me, the 0.5 extra, that at least is worth it. I do have roughly 650 VGX tokens, so that 150 or so, I'm not going to be scared to swing trade here and there. You could even set a limit sell order. I recommend right around, if you're going to just set it and forget it, I recommend about 320. 320 is a safe place that if you give it a month or two, you're definitely going to hit there. And if you're patient, you can also buy under that 250. You see that it often dips under. And if you want to actually go back, you can see that there's very many opportunities right in between this 256. If you can buy under 256 and sell over, depending on how risky you want to get with it, how long you want to hold it, but depending on how much profit you want. Of course, we all want max profit, but you also want to make that trade and make it happen. So you could always look for the most often that it spikes. So look for spikes like this, maybe over above the 280, 270. You could definitely take profits there and just buy as low as possible. Be patient with this one. Depends on what kind of trader you are. I noticed a lot of people nowadays are impatient and they just feel like this emotional connection, like they need every stock they can set their eyes on. And me, I don't care either way. Like if I want to sell a certain stock and take my profit, I'm not going to be scared to do that. I'm not going to get, like emotionally invested in something and feel like I need it, like for some sentimental reason or anything else. And if you feel like, it's going to take off without you, if you sell everything, you could always just sell some. And then you know that, hey, I locked in some profits. And if it does take off, you still do get to enjoy some of the benefits, although not all. So it is kind of an opportunity lost, but it's also a potential risk mitigated. So it just depends on your risk levels. If you really wanted to, you could potentially just buy anything under 270, be patient, wait till it goes over. I'm not selling anything, although looking back, I probably wish I would have sold a little bit here because we are going back down. And I was about $200 up on my total VGX out of the 650 or so. I was about 200 down at some point and then 200 up at some point. So there's definitely a nice swing in there that you can, if you can time it good, you can definitely make some money. You can look at it from the RSI perspective, and if you can get it under 50 on the RSI going towards oversold and getting too oversold, you buy then and then you sell up here. Things do fluctuate, of course, but there is definitely easy, if you guys want to just get in and out on this kind of thing. I'm not a financial advisor, but I could definitely see potential that I could have made a decent amount of money already if I wasn't just holding this. I'm not worried at all because there was a point that this was $5-6. So I could definitely see this being a long-term investment also, if not a day trade. So you could honestly work on this either way. Me personally, I'm going to hold this, but I'm also not going to be scared to take some profits on some nice run-ups once in a while. And I'll also leave a link for you guys for the white paper as well. It's definitely worth looking through. I highly recommend looking through the white paper. It gives you a better idea of what you have, and it also gives you more conviction, so then if there's a big panic sell, you can be panic buying. While everyone else is running away from it, you can be running to it. But that's just my thoughts on that. Always do your own research, guys. But thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys on the next one.